Like when I say finishing product, I mean you design the website, you design the dashboard for the normal people, like for the normal users, that design the admin dashboard.
So it's good to have you back here again. Last time we spoke here in Abuja, you know, now you're in Lagos. What's the difference?
What's the difference between Abuja and Lagos?
Uh-huh.
Abuja was chill. There was always lights, and it was like no traffic, no
And
traffic at
Lagos.
Abuja. Then Uber was very cheap compared to Lagos. Like my maximum travel expenses, like from one place to another in Abuja, the boat was around like 2,000, and it was like a long distance. I came back to Lagos and my first billing was already 8,000 from from the airport to my
Jesus.
side. So that's the thing that I missed about Abuja. I could go everywhere and boat was cheap. And then there was lighting and the apartments were cool.
Will you
But
be in Abuja?
like, it's always more fun. I don't know. Abuja looks like the kind of place to retire to. Like when you are done with like life, you just want to go out. I don't want to stay somewhere urban. Just go to Abuja.
8K just from the airport. Do you know how much I spend from the airport? From airport to like Central area and Abuja is like 4K. Pata pata pata.
And it's far.
And
It's
it's
very
far.
far. Now I came back at night. I came back without traffic. That's the annoying thing. I came back at night. There was no traffic. The distance was more less than 30 minutes, and I paid 8K. I was actually annoyed. I was pissed off. Like I just come back and first thing was billing. Like it was just like annoying. Oh,
So I want to have that discussion with you, about like how you like manage money as like product design money, salary, all of that. But wait, before we get to that talk now, right? So since you moved back, since like the whole holiday and everything, how's your routine be like? Has it changed totally? Has it been the same?
I don't know, man. A lot of things changed between when I went to Abuja and when I came back and this new year. I'm even talking about work life and all that stuff. Yeah, so it's a lot different from then, but it's still like a personal thing, so I can't really share it out with so many things. But a lot of things. So the way I work now is a little bit different from how I used to work back then. I have more time on hand these days. So I usually spend a lot of time working on my own personal upskilling than like other office work. Yeah. So, but it's still chill.
In your years of product design, between your first year and like now, what period of time has been your most hectic?
Now, it's now.
Now,
Definitely now. It's definitely okay. I can say maybe like 2 years ago when I was working for an agency, man. Working for an agency is stress. It's stress. It's stress. I was working on like three, four projects at the same time, and everyone
um,
required. I was finishing products in a month. Like when I say finishing product, I mean you design the website, you design the dashboard for the normal people, like for the normal users, that design the admin dashboard, you design the super admin dashboard, you design the app all in 1 month. And
damn.
it used to be insane. It used to be very, very insane. Yeah. So I guess that was also a very stressful time in my life. And especially since it wasn't remote. So you had to actually still go to the office and it was on the island. And so you face traffic, you wake up like 6 a.m. No, you wake up 5 a.m. You leave the house by 6 a.m. You get to the office like around 8 because of traffic. From 8 till around 5, you work like heavy duty work. From 5, you are thinking about leaving, but you cannot necessarily leave because you are trying to beat traffic. So if you do not leave by that 5 on time, you are leaving somewhere around 7 so that traffic will reduce. So from 7, you are getting home somewhere around like 9, 10, 11. Depends on how traffic can be at that day. So 11, you've not finished some of the work you were supposed to do and you're supposed to like show a couple of things. So you work sometime into like the nights, let's say by 12, 1. Then from 1 o'clock, you are sleeping to wake up by 5 again.
I don't want to say I like toxic environments, but I've never had that kind of experience. Like when CEO is on my back or like the whole company is on my back, be like, finish these three things at the same time.
Nah, you have to. There's a lot of a lot of stress in that one. I mean, sometimes to be chill, yeah. Sometimes it's chilling, but man, you can't think about doing like those kind of projects at the same time, man. You are moving from e-commerce to fintech, not fintech anyway, but like a little bit of fintech. You're looking at legal. So you're reading so many documents, you are trying to understand the flows on different ends. You're working with different product managers, everybody's requiring something from you. It gets a little bit hard.
Process, was it like something you learned from all that
Yes,
heavy
I
work?
learned.
Or
Yeah, I learned. Number one, that I'm never going to the office for remote work. Like I am not going to be going to the office on the island. That's one thing I learned. Number two is that I'm not doing any agency work that requires me to do all this stuff. I can work for an agency where there's a good product development life cycle, yeah, where okay, we spend time on a lot of good processes. We try to understand the market. I mean, it wasn't a startup, so there was no need for that. But then, you know how agencies are, they get a lot of contracts. Some people lie that, oh, they'll be done in like 2 months so that they get the contract from another person. And now, because somebody has said it'll be done in 2 months, you want the contract in nothing and you'll be done in a month. So this one's now favor you more. So there's a little bit of that line up and down here. Or you tell somebody that, oh, we've already built something similar to that, or you just need to do is just come and buy the product and sell it into your end. Then they'll now come back and tell you, oh, let's build this thing, no, so that we can sell to the client and all that. So there's a little bit of that, and I learned how those things work. Yeah. So I can't go work for a company like that anymore. Like an agency where there's so much pressure. That's one of the things I think I took out. But then it was really fun. I got to make my closest friends, or some of my closest friends that like because we all passed through that fire, and I think it really helped us because you have to like ID it very fast and all that stuff. So it really helped us like come up with concept as very fast as possible too. So I guess that's about I met some of the best people that like I'm in contact with right now, and it was really fun. Yeah, I guess it was fun when you look at it sometimes, but then that stress was it's not worth it.
product designers as well.
Yeah,
And
product designers. The greats, like people like Dev Chris, that's Chris Adolphos. I met people like Charles, that's the founder CEO of Spire. I met soft dev, sophisticated dev. I call him soft. I met a couple of great designers, Larry, Wisdom, very, very awesome designers, Emmanuel.
among all these guys you just mentioned, all the people you've met so far, which like person's growth that have you can you say like this guy? I know many of them are like they're your guys now, but which person's growth really like this guy's growth has inspired you really heavily?
I can't see. I can't say. There's one exactly that actually inspire. They all inspire me in different ways. Emmanuel inspires me in the way he lives his life. Like I want to be that guy. Like he just travels around, enjoys this, goes around doing. I really love this. I mean, I like the way Soft is very sophisticated. Dev is very good at pricing. Like that guy, he has confidence on a level that I wish I had. Like if I have that kind of confidence to charge the kind of prices that he charges, man, maybe I'll be sneakily rich by now. Like I really like the guy. I love his understanding of how things should work, and he's very simplistic in his way. Chris is an idiot, but I really like him a lot. At least I he's one of the people that really inspire me sometimes because he has a particular drive that I do not have. Okay, he's like it's very driven in that passion, or I don't even know if it's passion so but he has energy. Like when someone says energy, yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
Chris. Stuff is more chill, like okay, it takes things, it doesn't allow anybody rush him, it doesn't do anything. You can't tell him that, oh, this is the time that he wants him to do it. If he's not going to do it in that time, he'll tell you that he's not going to do it in that time, and if you don't want to hear what, that's your own. That's so. But Chris is the kind of person that will be like, I can finish this as very fast as possible. Whoa, I will do this, I will do that, I will learn this, I will learn that, I will upskill this, I will read this, and it's all like so many things that I'm like, yo, dude, what are you on? What are you on? Yes, Chris is very knowledgeable in business, he's knowledgeable in design, he's knowledgeable in very different areas of life. So I really Larry is very chilled. APR is a very great designer. Wisdom is also a very good designer. So I mean, everybody that I have contact with as designers inspire me in one way or the other. So I don't really say there's one person that totally inspires like me as a person. I take inspiration from everybody. I really like the way somebody does these things, and it just draws me towards them. Like, yo, maybe I can be that kind of person, or maybe if I work a little bit harder, I can learn this or learn that.
Sounds like
And
my
you
kind
might,
of guy.
yeah, you might like Chris. You might like Chris a lot.
Yeah, sounds like my kind of person. We just want to just get our hands dirty and then do this, and just join doing things just to make it work. I like that kind of vibe. How were you able to like leave that agency, transition into working for like the startup you work for now?
I mean, I resigned from the agency because I was going through major depression. I was literally going major depression at that point in time, and they were making things worse. Again, as I said, agencies can be, and I think I was working 3 projects already, and someone left. Chris left. Chris left first. Chris was the first person to leave among us, and then they wanted to carry his projects and dump it on my head, and I was already having like problems with like 3. The other side, and he was about to now drop this thing. So once Chris left, everybody just started like, oh, yo, let's work on our stuff. So we all started. That's when I worked in that portfolio that I first put out there, yeah. And software worked on this portfolio. In fact, all of us like we're just driven to just, let's leave. So I left. Actually, I resigned after Chris. I resigned a month after Chris. The others didn't resign to like two months after. But when I resigned, I didn't even have another job. I was willing to, okay, I'd saved up a lot of cash. 3 months time, let me use that period to like work on myself. Let's keep applying. I could have enough cash to carry myself through, and I'll still stay with my parents then. So I didn't really need so much of anything. So I used that period, learned a couple of stuff, learned many things, then applied to a lot of companies. And how I am is once I fail, yeah, I learn from my failures. I know how to, or if I don't get something, I know how to find lessons in it that would help me get better. So I applied a lot of times and I got rejected a lot of times. But from every rejection, I learned something that I applied in my next rejection. I learned something, applied. So once I finally got to a company, I think I had the combination of all those knowledge that I'd learned and I applied and I got into a company, a Nigerian company backdrop where I met also one of the best set of teammates I'd ever worked with.
Was it like there was no money to encourage? Because everybody keeps saying, "What's your biggest motivation?" If you ask every almost random designer, people like, "It's money, it's money." Like, was it like there was not enough money?
Yes, but not that. I mean, I was still starting up then, and the money they were paying me, even though now that I look back at it, it felt small. For me, it was like the hugest amount of money I'd ever received. You get so it wasn't
Mhm.
like I was motivated because of the money. I mean, a lot of people started getting that's when remote jobs started really becoming like loud. A lot of people getting remote jobs and all that was loud. But the main reason I left wasn't because of the money, it was because they were killing me of stress. That was like the biggest thing. I was stressed. I mean, if it was because of the money, I could have still stayed while working, but I was tired. I could not take it anymore. I could not take it anymore. I could not take the load of work that I had to do. So I just resigned. Like I didn't care about being paid at that point in time or anything. I just wanted to be done with that stress, and I kept applying out to other companies.
What case do you think the money would be worth the stress? Like, how much would be worth so much stress?
I don't know. I think this is where I take in Soft's ability, like Soft's sophisticated dev. When I say soft, I just mean sophisticated
Yeah,
dev.
yeah, yeah.
I think this is where I take him his own part of way of life, where for him no money is enough to stress him. If it starts stressing him too much, you always find something better. So it's just like nah. For me right now, I don't think there's huge money. Like once it starts, I mean, there's a threshold. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. But once it starts passing that threshold, I don't know if I can stay. I have a huge stress threshold. Yeah, I can take stress for a period of time.
Mhm.
But once it passes that threshold, where I start feeling it affecting me, like mentally really much, I don't think I'll remain in such a company.
You are the agba, like you are our agba here.
I can't see myself as an agba till I hit like 10 years. There's so many things I still lack that I want to really get good
Like
at.
what? Like what?
I mean, even I don't even know how to explain. I think I compare myself to a lot of greats, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see what I don't know and I see it in them, it just makes me realize that there's still a lot of things to learn. Like even from my current place of work here, I'm working with an actual agba in the design space, Tola Alade. And when I see some of the things he knows, and I'm designing, and I bring my work to him for him to review, and he points out some certain things, it just makes me realize that there's still a lot
Like
I could
what?
learn.
Like what,
I mean,
David? Like
I don't know how to explain it. Creative direction, understanding maybe UX, understanding more about products, simplicity. I guess I can't
will
really put it to mind.
will you say
I mean,
something
there are
like
definitely a lot of
spacing?
things I know. I definitely a
Uh-huh.
lot of things that I know that junior designers will not know, yeah. But and I understand that, but then there's a lot of things that I do not know that I can't use it to say I think that's one of the major reasons why I don't even give like talks on a lot of things because I look back and I'm like most of the things I know are pretty much what everybody knows. That's how I feel a lot of times. So
Okay.
I feel like whenever they ask me to give talks on something, I'm like, will I just go and see something that everybody already knows? Is that even making sense or anything? It just feels like it's common knowledge. Most of the things I know, they're not really high level things. That's how I feel a lot of times, yeah. Although I know it's a little bit of bias, like it doesn't make sense because I know there's a couple of people, yeah. I have talked with some people and some of the things that I know they don't know. You understand? Like when they come one on one to ask me for some certain kind of like okay mentorship on something or they need an advice doing some things and I give my advice and it's like oh yeah, it really helps them, yeah, and I get that maybe my experience also allows me, but like sometimes I just look at it like nah, there's a lot of things I need to know for me to say I'm like an
Give me
admin.
an instance. David, give me an instance. Give me an example.
I don't know how to say it. Like, okay, let's look at some of the as we mentioned the last call. Yeah, I've seen like a lot of great designers in this Nigerian space here, and I've explained this like in the last call that we had. Like some of them that
Yeah.
are very, very good. I don't see myself on that level. I feel my designs are very very like minuscule. Like they're not, it's not on that level that I want it to be yet. It's not like when you see my design, you see, whoa, this it's just my design thing is meant to be like something just simple. That's how I design it. I design to be as simple as possible. I don't add so much of those razzmatazz that people add that makes that design pop. If you see my design and you see something like that let's say let me look at somebody that has designed something very crazy. Who can I point as a product designer now? I mean, names are coming to my head, but okay, let's say something like Mudia or Caleb. Like in terms of colors, yeah. If Caleb
Mhm.
should design an interface that has colors and I design an interface that has colors, it's going pop more because he has a very great understanding of what colors are. If I should design a poster and Barry designs a poster, Barry's design will always come out well because Barry is a very great visual artist. If I should design a brand and let's say Chisa designs a brand, Chisa will pop out more because he's a very good brand designer. If I should design a motion and someone like Rog design something for motion, it will come out because it's a very good. So I just tend to see like myself
But
as very average. I
okay,
don't know.
but David now.
Yeah.
So you know that people reach out to you for mentorship, right? And that is because they have seen like you being good at something. I think it's easy for junior designers like to get into their head. Like sometimes I get into my own head and I'm like, this is awesome, this is good. And then after like 2 months, 3 months, I'm like, so this is what I was using to make mouth on myself. I'm like, this shit. So now, and I know a senior designer will probably look at it and see through it. This is not good, but they will not say. I've seen that. Even me, I've done that for a couple designers. When they come up to me with their work, I'm like, yeah, this is good. I'm seeing the errors, I'm seeing the mistakes. I'm like, yeah, this is good. You should learn this, learn this. I'm like, but yeah, you're fine right now. So in terms of
Yes,
like the most popular mistakes that people do, right, as designers?
That's quite hard to define because design is really all this combination of everything that makes it like really pop out. So I really can't say, oh, people are not very good at their typography, or people are not good at their spacing, or people are not good at. I don't think there's a way to really define that. I mean, it's a combination of all these things that really makes the design natural. Somebody might have very good typography, but don't know how to use it in terms of skill. Somebody might have very good color, but not have the right contrast that make them work. So I really can't say there's one area where a lot of people make mistakes, and I just think people really need to spend more time on every form of these basics and keep improving on each one, every one of them daily till like they know they've gotten a very good understanding of it. Even me right now, I'm still focusing on a lot of these basics because I think that I've forgotten a couple of these things, and going back to some courses that I've applied for. Yeah, I'm learning a lot of things that I knew but tended to forget over time. So I guess working on it has really helped me um, get better at some of this like designs. Some designs that I even created, I think like
Mhm.
last year that I was really proud of. Now on having been like armed with the knowledge that I have now, I look at it and I just see, oh, this could have been better in this way, or if I had notched this a little bit, or if I reduced this gray color, it would really have popped out. Maybe if I took out this border. I mean, it's just understanding the little
Little
things,
things.
yeah, that really make your designs pop. Like it's very minor changes. Like I watch this guy's YouTube a lot, refactoring UI. I watch his YouTube like a very lot. He's a very good UI designer, like one of the best here. And when he refactors a particular site, you just notice that it's just tiny changes. Maybe like okay, understanding like the contrast, reducing the contrast, or making use of the right things of shades of gray, or understanding where which space needs to be like where space needs to be added, understanding what particular pattern of components should be used. So it's just this like little things that really change
Mhm.
a design that takes it from like a mid design to like a very great design.
Draw me a roadmap, David. Like, give me a roadmap of a great designer, or at least somebody who wants to be.
A great designer. I guess they should first understand typography. Typography, knowing how type is created, not really knowing how type is created, but like having a good sense of typography, what type to use for every type of project, understanding your type scale. And that type scale really helps you to define where your type is going to be used. So typography is always the first thing I think anyone should learn. After that, yeah, I think the next thing is to work on let's say colors. Yeah,
Mhm.
colors is also another thing that I think they should learn. Once you have your typography set, then the next thing is working on colors. After colors, you can now work on your layout and alignment. Like layout and alignment will help you really like set all those small things apart. Then after that, I think space also comes in with layout and alignment. I mean, I feel like if you have those four things, like your color, your type, your layout and alignment,
Yeah,
and your spacing. If those things you have a very core, strong knowledge about it,
yeah.
you can design things that look very clean. Like that would really look very clean. Like your designs that are like minor problems here and there will just have very distinctive, clear look. That will be very
Okay.
clean. Yeah, then once you now start moving into grids or like creative directions, understanding what patterns to use and all that stuff, it will make, and that's just for my type of design, yeah, because I'm a very simplistic design. I mean, there's some people that are very good now at like being very expressive, and there's this like very crazy, yeah, I don't know how to design that way. I love when people design that way, but that's not my style of designs. Yeah, I don't see myself designing all those crazy. I like my designs that anyone looks at it is like, oh, it's very clean, it's very simple, it's easy for people to use, for people to understand what the motive of this thing was. I love my designs looking like that, but sometimes I do like to experiment that are crazy. But every time I keep experimenting, I just know that it doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. If anybody sees my design, they mostly know that, oh no, this guy just likes being plain. clean design.
So let's go to this topic now. Like I have this one here. You sent me one
Okay.
video. I watched the video about like what money is. And since then, like I have been in this dilemma, okay, and I've been thinking like, so money is debt, right? How exactly would you now imagine making most of it?
I mean, the only real way to make wealth in this new life that we live is through good investments. That's really the only way to really make wealth. Yeah. Finding the right amount of investments. And you can only have that if you have good capital. So it's really rigged for us. It's really rigged for us. I mean, another way you can do is to build a product, scale it up to the point where it's really raises traction and people invest in it. But to be honest, in the entire grand scale of things, through investments, I don't really have so much knowledge in that area. I think I try not to focus on those yet. Yet, I mean, I have a small understanding, but I'm not that kind of person that I can take big risk yet because I'm never earning like a huge amount to try and like do that. Maybe when I'm in like let's say 10,000, 10,000 every month. I can now start thinking about investing. But yeah, people invest. I mean, like just small, looking at maybe doing like small angel investments or investing in stocks or like Rise Vest and all that stuff, investments in stocks. But then
Yeah.
all that very, very small amounts. I really don't think you can make so much huge money. You have to have money to make money. That's how it feels like these days. Have a huge amount of money to make money. Maybe start up a very profitable business, then use that money and start investing in different things. Or I don't know, man. When every time I read more about these things, it just feels very rigged. Like it's hard to build wealth. Like you have one small chance to hit it and make it big. Some do it by starting up a startup, raising big amounts from those startup and selling off. Then the money from that they now invest in. It's very
So
rigged.
now, so how would somebody in Nigeria, because like a product designer, an average product designer, somebody listening to us now, I don't know how much people earn this day for internship as product designers because but when then in 2020, at least my time, product design internship was 15,000 naira every month. Probably now the money would have gone up, right? 'Cause